Hello Internet, my name is Chilln Play. Today, we are going to be going on a little adventure through the Generation 2 Pokemon game, Pokemon Crystal. As we go through this challenge run, we are going to be attempting to answer a very basic question. Can you beat Pokemon Crystal version using only a Dunsparce? I chose Dunsparce for this challenge run because he gets no popularity among Pokemon fans for being anything other than goofy and rare. But how strong is this little guy? Does he deserve our respect instead of our pity? Well, let's find out. The rules for this challenge are simple. I will use only Dunsparce to complete every battle in the game. Any other Pokemon in my party is for HM use only and will be left fainted so they can't possibly be dragged into battle, accident or otherwise. Next, I won't use any items in battle. No heals, no stat buffs. We will attempt to beat the game using only the power of our Dunsparce and not our wallet. I modified the game so that Dunsparce is our starter instead of Totodile, meaning our rival has Chikorita, which actually I didn't mean to do, but it turns out to be a good thing because Chikorita is very weak and easy for me to kill. Now, my Dunsparce only knows Rage and Defense Curl to start, which turns out to be a very powerful moveset early on. I can raise my defenses so that I can't be dealt much damage by the scratches and tackle, while constantly getting stat buffs every time the opponent hits me, allowing me to sweep through most everybody in the early game. After our rival is defeated, it's time to get a move on and start actually getting things done. Now, to start, I go ahead and hit the shop and pick up a few things that I think I might need. Keep in mind, these items are to be used outside of battle, which means I don't know why I picked up Awakening. I'm not sure how I'm going to win a battle asleep. But I'm going to skip through all of the trainers that are just basic in the game because there's nothing really to say about them. They don't do much damage, they're pretty low level, and I pretty much just clean them all up relatively easy. So we're going to skip to the more important battles like the gym fights. The first gym is Falkner. He has a Pidgey level 7 and a Pidgeotto level 9. Now, his Pidgey knows Tackle and Mud Slap, which could be annoying as Mud Slap lowers your accuracy, but he just goes for a few tackles and allows me to build up my Rage so that it's nice and strong by the time Pidgeotto comes out. It's nice to see that Dunsparce is having no trouble at all with the first gym in the game, and at only level 10. I expected myself to have to do some grinding or something, but we'll take it, I guess. At this point, I'm trying to decide whether or not to teach Mudslap to my Dunsparce because I can't exactly recall when we get the Dig TM, but after some research, I figure out it's going to be a while, and Mudslap is the best ground move we're going to get until then, as Dunsparce can't even learn Earthquake, so we'll be stuck with Dig for the rest of the game. With the first gym badge in our pocket, we head on over to the next city to acquire the next badge. But first, we have to clear out the Team Rocket grunts from the Slowpoke well, who are collecting the tails off of Slowpokes. Yeah. With that out of the way, we can finally take on Bugsy. And her team is really easy, but I did underestimate it. I tried to go for a Glare on Scyther the first time around, and it ended up biting me in the butt because it didn't affect him. I went for it again, and it failed again, and by this time, Fury Cutter has built up enough power to sweep me to the ground. So I need to rethink my strategy. Ultimately, I decide that building up my Rage is the best strategy for this battle as well. You see, Metapod only knows String Shot, Tackle, and Harden, so when he goes for Tackle and only does 2 damage to me, it gives me the perfect opportunity to build up my Rage by the time I get to the Scyther. And Kakuna also uses Poison Sting, which also boosts the Rage, and by the time I get to Scyther, he pretty much goes down with no problem, and I don't allow him to build up the Fury Cutter and wreck me. I never really took Rage seriously as a move, but it's turning out to be very powerful in this playthrough. I'm excited to see what it can do for me. With the badge in hand, it's time to head on to the next city, but not without taking a visit from our rival, who wants to battle. He has a Ghastly, a Zubat, and a Bayleaf, and this fight is just a joke. Mudslap destroys the Ghastly, and also weakens his accuracy so it can't hit me with Hypnosis. Zubat, on the other hand, confuses me, causes me to take a little damage, and then he gets knocked out. Bayleaf casts a Razor Leaf, but by this time I've built up my Rage, and he's going to die as long as I don't hit myself. Surprise, I didn't. Now, I actually came surprisingly close to losing this fight, but I didn't. But if he had critical hit me here on this last Razor Leaf, it could have gone either way. And I also lucked up with Confusion and didn't hurt myself the final time and got unconfused, and well, we took him out with a slap to the jaw. And after that battle, we traveled through the Elix Forest, pick up the TM for Headbutt, teach it to our Dunsparce, and then immediately challenge Whitney. I haven't done any grinding up to this point, I'm kinda just seeing what we can do just steamrolling through the game. and it's working out good so far. Now this battle actually went surprisingly well. I was nervous because of Miltank's rollout, as we all are, but Clefairy happens to know Double Slap, which is perfect for my Rage ability. It hits me 5 times and powers me up to nearly maximum stacks of Rage bonus. And then, that was his downfall. He dies no problem. By the time Miltank comes out and hits me with a Stomp because he outspeeds me, I'm at 6 stacks of Rage, and I'm able to knock him down to 1 health. But of course I have to flinch first and take another Stomp, which only adds to my ever-growing power. Now that I unleash it on him, he doesn't stand a chance. Being that his health got so low right here, I mean, it honestly could have knocked him out on a higher damage roll, but I expected him to get healed to max health by Whitney, but he actually uses Milk Drink instead, which keeps his health low enough for me to knock him out. And I even got the critical. And now Whitney's defeated. She cries. She won't give us the badge, but we're gonna get it no matter what, so she might as well hurry up. After those shenanigans, before we can take on the gym leader Morty, we first have to clear out our rival from the burnt tower. And this is where things got a little sticky. His Haunter knows the move Curse, which cuts his HP in half, but puts a curse on me that's going to do 1/4 of my health per turn. Now, the catch here is if I one-hit the Pokemon I'm fighting, I won't take damage from the curse. But at this point, I'm too weak for Mudslap to kill him, even from half health, and I'm also too weak to one-shot the Magnemite, whose Sonic Boom luckily missed, but it doesn't end up making a difference. I'm still going to be too low health by the time I get to Bayleaf, taking this curse damage, so I'm simply not going to be able to do it, no matter how bad I want it. And no matter how bad I don't want to grind, I'm pretty much left with no options here. I head over to the east and fight all the trainers near the Lake of Rage, and on the way there, I also take some time to grab some extra levels from the wild Pokemon there. And after boosting ourselves up, I decide to take him on again. This time I'm level 33, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident. Luckily I was able to get through the Haunter with 1 shot this time, so I only take my first damage from Curse against the Zubat, who I half health, but he puts Confusion on me. After one-shotting the Magnemite, I'm on to the Bayleaf, this time cursed and confused. After hitting myself in Confusion and taking Razor Leafs to the face and curses, I die. But on the next go-around, things really go in my favor. I get a critical hit and one-shot Zubat before he can confuse me. And then from then, it's pretty much easy as I don't take any curse damage until the final fight with Bayleaf, who goes down in 2 hits, and I'm victorious. And finally, we can head on to the next part of the game, the gym battle with Morty. Things get interesting here at Morty. It takes me a lot of tries to get through this one. His Ghastly always goes down with no problem, and his Haunter is not really a big deal either, but I can't quite one-shot it, which allows it to get a curse off on me and pretty much set me up for failure. The real issue here is his Gengar. If having a curse on me wasn't bad enough, he always goes for Hypnosis and puts me to sleep, and then eats my dreams. And if he doesn't do that, there's a very small chance he will go for Mean Look instead of Hypnosis and Dream Eater combo. After a few tries of fighting him, finally I get what I wanted. He goes for Mean Look on the first turn and allows me to get off some free damage. And at this point, I can finally snowball the fight. You see, since he let me get a hit off, I'm able to lower his accuracy. And since his accuracy is lowered and Hypnosis misses commonly anyway, he doesn't land it again for the rest of the fight, allowing me to knock him out without taking any damage. Next is his final Haunter, and that thing is no problem. 2 Mudslaps, and he's out of the picture. This battle may have taken a good amount of tries to win, but I was at least KOing 2 Pokemon throughout the fights, allowing me to level up over time, and eventually we claim ourselves the badge. Next up, we head over to Olivine City to face Jasmine. But of course, you can't actually fight her yet, because she's taking care of a sick Pokemon in the lighthouse. After clearing that out, which was just a bunch of easy battles, we grab the HM for strength and teach it to Dunsparce, and this turns out to be a pretty strong move for him. After that, we head over to Cianwood and we challenge Chuck before grabbing the medicine. Now Chuck turned out to be really easy, and I was nervous because fighting type is super effective against me. However, his Pokemon go down in 1 and 2 hits. And that's pretty much it. Strength is a good move. By now we're pretty high level, and like I said, I haven't had to grind other than one time, so I'm really proud of Dunsparce at this point. With another badge in hand, we head back over and give the medicine to Jasmine, and now she's ready to fight. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to do here because Mud Slap isn't that strong, and then I realized I don't have the Dig TM yet, so I quickly went and picked that up and taught it to Dunsparce, and this makes quick work of her team. At least, all of her team until Steelix. Steelix barely got hurt at all. And Steelix loves to use Iron Tail. Iron Tail is a really powerful move that's supposed to have pretty bad accuracy, but it hits me a lot. So I use Glare to try to paralyze it and cut down on the amount of hits I take. But it does not work out in my favor, and I still get clapped to death. At this point, it's apparent to me that I'm gonna have to grind up a few levels if I want to stand a chance against Steelix. So I grab 3 more levels, putting me at 46, and we go at it again. First 2 Pokemon are easy, the Glare lands on Steelix, and finally, he actually misses some moves, and I get him pretty low. But then, he gets Hyper Potion to full health, and I'm pretty worried again at this point. With a little luck from Paralysis, we manage to take him down with just a shred of our health left, and earn ourselves our 6th Gem Badge. Before we can take on Price and earn the 7th Gem Badge, first we have to clear out Team Rocket out of their little hideout. Now, I'm not going to include much footage of this, mainly because you all know how this goes. I hit them all with the Woot Wop, and then I head on out, and that's pretty much it. I went north of the city to knock out all my HM users before taking on the gym leader, and I ran into Riku, right off the bat. And so of course I'm going to throw an Ultra Ball at him and see if we can catch him. Come on, Riku. Get in the hole. Get in the ball, I mean. Of course not. Anyways, next it's time to fight Price, whose team consists of a Seal, a Dugong, and a Piloswine. This fight turns out to be another one of the easiest ones in the game. I use Rage on the first 2 Pokemon to build up my power because all they have is weak elemental attacks. So by the time we get to the Piloswine, our Rage is more than strong enough to clean him up. I mean, seriously, this was almost easier than Chuck. Well, it wasn't actually easier than Chuck. Chuck only took 3 attacks total to beat him. But either way, I barely took any damage. And with that, we claimed our 7th Gym Badge. We're moving right along. And now, before the next gym, of course, more Team Rocket shenanigans. Once again, I won't probably include much footage of this because there's just nothing to see or talk about. I smack them with 1 hit, they die, I fight the next one, he dies, you know the story. But along the way, we run into our rival. His team's gotten a little bit stronger, but it's still no match for the power of Dunsparce. The Golbat goes down with 1 easy strength to the face, the Magnemite goes down with 1 dig to the jaw, and the Haunter also goes down with an easy dig. And the Sneasel is Sneasel, so you know what happens to him. Next up is Meganium, and he actually lives through 2 hits. Oh, wait a minute. No, he doesn't. He dies in 1. Dunsparce is actually really shining, guys. You might want to put some respect on the name. And now it's finally time for the 8th and final Gym Badge. The fight is against Claire herself. She's got 3 Dragonairs and a Kingdra, and she is not playing around. Too bad Dunsparce is really strong and hits her with the 1-2 slapperoo with strength. Kingdra is the only one to survive, but he goes for Smokescreen and misses. And then after a Hyper Potion, we smack him back down with another strength. And that's pretty much the end of the battle. 1 more of those and he's out of the game. So that is it. That's 8 Gym Badges. You guys all know what's next. It's time for the Elite Four. It may be a little late to mention this, but I forgot to, so it's better late than never. I gave my Dunsparce the Pink Bow on a Tuesday a couple Gym Badges ago, and that's honestly helped me a lot with these strength hits. Before we fight the Elite Four, we gotta clean up our rival. And believe me, he's still as weak as ever. I don't know why he has a Sneasel in the first place, but that thing goes down with no problem. And so does the Golbat. 1 strength, and he's out of the game. 1 dig for Magneton, and he's out of the game. I thought he was supposed to have a Gengar here, but it's just a Haunter. And it turns out a dig is gonna wipe him off the face of the earth as well. And we got a critical. Now, Kadabra had me worried a little bit because, I mean, he's very powerful and fast, but we actually outsped it and managed to knock it out with a critical hit. And Meganium, well, 2 strength this time killed him. Now, you may have noticed, but I was actually low health for this fight. I forgot to heal, but I didn't even need to be full health because he's just that weak. Now, Dunsparce made it this far, but now it's time to put him to the true test, the Elite Four. The first member, Will, has 2 Zatus, a Jinx, Exeggutor, and a Slowbro. The first Zatu and the Jinx are no problem. They both go down in 1 hit from strength, so I'm feeling really good at this point. But Exeggutor, on the other hand, he's a little different story. He's tanky, he has Leech Seed, and he's pretty much just a problem altogether. He also hits pretty hard with Psychic. He nearly kills me. So by the time I do Rage and finish him off, it's time to face Slowbro, but I got nearly no health at all. And also I'm still seated, so I'm constantly healing him, and it's just a bad fight. I die. On the second fight, however, thanks to a critical hit on Exeggutor, I'm able to get to Slowbro with plenty of health to take out the rest of the team with strength. So that's Will down, 3 more to go. The next member, Koga, is a little bit more difficult to deal with. His first Pokemon, Gyarados, is a throwaway and an easy kill with strength. His next one, however, Venomoth, can either hit me with Psychic pretty hard or use Toxic on me, and if that happens, the battle's pretty much over. You see, his Fortress knows the move Protect, and when I go for a dig on it to take advantage of the Steel type, I can't get it off because he always uses Protect. And I mean always. It's like he predicts it because he's AI. Not surprising, but by the time I whittle him down, the poison knocks me out. After realizing that Dig wasn't going to do it for Venomoth, I did the smart thing and used Strength, and took it out with 1 hit. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Next I paralyze the Fortress, and then I go for some digs, but he's going to protect himself. So I pretty much have to rework my strategy at this point because Dig is never going to hit. I realize that the other move he likes to use a lot is Swift. Swift barely does any damage, and I barely do any damage to him. This means he's going to use a lot of Swifts on me while I slowly take him down with Rage and build up my power. By the time I take him down, I'm really strong and I can take out Muck with 1 shot. And I can also take out Crobat with 1 shot. And that's the end of another Elite Four member. Now we're on to Bruno, the 3rd member. He starts off with a Hitmontop, which is nothing special. He's pretty actually easy, and we smack him with Strength, and we kill him. We clear through his whole team until we get to Machamp, and then he hits us with that big old Cross Chop. Luckily we survive and continue to take him down. But once we made it to Onix, I thought this is when the fight was over and it was going to be easy, but it turns out he knows Earthquake. And that does more damage on you if you're using Dig, which is the move I use to be super effective against him. I died like an idiot. On the next fight with him, surprise! I put the Rage strategy in. I can't believe I started off with this move and I'm still here using it in the Elite Four, but it's so effective, honestly. I've never used it really before this playthrough, but I've gained a lot of respect for it. I build up my Rage throughout the fight, and I'm even able to take Machamp down with 1 hit. I'm on to Onix, and my Rage is strong enough to even almost 1-hit KO him, even with it not being very effective. After that, 1 more hit takes him down, and Bruno's out of the picture. Next up is Karin, the Dark-type user. I guess. You can't really tell that based off her team, but she starts off with an Umbreon. He's a little bit tanky, but 1 strength is actually going to knock him out. The next Pokemon, Vileplume, is definitely not a problem either. He also goes down with 1 strength. Gengar, on the other hand, is where it gets tricky. You see, he knows Curse, of course, which he will definitely use, causing me to take damage every turn, but he also knows Destiny Bond, and sometimes he does go for it. And by the time I hit him with my Dig, I die. So that's a problem. I managed to make it to the Houndoom this fight, but I'm not able to take him out with 1 dig, allowing him to heal with Max Potion and making me take 2 turns of damage from Curse. I thought he wasn't going to heal there, so I used Rage, and that turned out to be my downfall. If I had done Dig, I might have been able to kill him, but either way, we'll never know, because the Curse knocked me down to 3 HP, and he uses Pursuit and takes me out. In the next fight, Gengar hits me with a Destiny Bond while I'm in mid-dig, meaning I'm going to die after I kill him. Perfect. Believe me, this probably happened 10 times before I finally got lucky enough for him not to use Destiny Bond while I'm underground. I made it down to the last Pokemon, Houndoom, and I'm actually able to get the high damage roll and take him out with 1 hit. And that is the final member of the Elite Four. All that's left between me and the title is the champion, Lance. His team is messed up. He's got 3 Dragonites, a Charizard, an Aerodactyl, and a Gyarados. I forgot to freaking heal before this fight. After resetting, it's time to actually fight. Gyarados, believe it or not, goes down in 1 hit, and if he doesn't, he also only uses Rain Dance to start the fight, so he doesn't do any damage to me. Next comes out the Dragonite, who always paralyzes me, so I try to paralyze him back to counteract it, but it's just not enough. By the time I take that one out, I'm already half health, and he's still got 2 more Dragonites and the rest of his team. He hits me with a few blizzards, and it's not looking so good. Plus, I'm getting bad luck with the paralyzed rolls, and it isn't long before I go down. On the next fight, however, I made it all the way to the Charizard, and I only had 10 HP left. It was his last Pokemon, but I couldn't quite kill him. After losing over and over and over and over, I decide that I have to think of a new strategy. I make the bold move, and I delete the move that carried us all the way to this point, Rage, and I replace it with Swagger, a move that confuses the opponent while also raising their attack 2 stages, causing them to do more damage to themselves in confusion. But, consequently, they're going to hurt you worse as well. But thanks to Swagger, we're actually able to take down all of the Pokemon to the last Dragonite. We go for Swagger right away because from this HP, it doesn't matter whether he's buffed or not. If he lands an attack, he's going to kill me. I get a big hit and luckily some confusion luck, and he takes himself out. And with that, we defeated Lance, and we're the champions of the Johto region. However, our journey's not quite over. We still have to go to Kanto, collect 8 more gym badges so that we can take on the real final fight in the game. Before we do that though, I pick up the TM for Thunder and I teach it to Dunsparce in replace of Glare. Glare is just unreliable and we're going to need some type coverage if we're going to take on this ultimate trainer. So next we go and collect all the gym badges from Johto, but I'm not going to include all the fights as they're just so easy. All of these trainers have too low level of Pokemon. I can hardly call them gym leaders. I one-hit everything, and I mean everything. Most of these trainers only have 3 Pokemon or less, so there's just nothing to see. I take them out real quick just so I can move along with the game and put Dunsparce to the ultimate test. The one Kanto gym leader that stands out though is the last one, Blue. His team is pretty strong. His levels are higher than Lance, and some of his types really put Dunsparce at a disadvantage. The only move I have that can handle his Rhydon is Dig, but he knows Earthquake, which absolutely wrecks me over and over and over. After enough tries though, I'm lucky enough to make it through to the Arcanine and just barely scrape by with a little bit of health and a burn. Now that we've obtained the final Kanto badge, we can put our Dunsparce to the ultimate test. The answer to the question, can you beat Pokemon Crystal with just a Dunsparce, is right ahead. Red. I go straight to him and I don't power level at all. I want to see where we stand. So I'm level 77 at this point and I'm going to try to take on his team. His Pikachu outspeeds me and hits me pretty hard with Thunder, and that's a pretty good sign that I'm not in for a fun battle. However, Dig can at least take him down in 1 hit, but by the time I make it to Espeon, 1 Psychic pretty much kills me. I've got no health left and I'm still on the 2nd Pokemon. It's pretty clear to me at this point that I'm gonna have to go train or else I can't win. I grind myself up to level 91 just to see if I can take out the team without being max level. And believe me, I got close and I think it can be done, but it's too luck dependent. After fighting it, I realized by the time I get through Espeon, I'm less than half health. I have to rely on Confusion against Snorlax, and if I can make it through that, Venusaur is free. 1 strength knocks it down below half, and then it always goes for a Solar Beam right off the bat, allowing me to get another free hit because I outspeed it and take it down. But then I still have 2 more Pokemon to deal with. And believe me, these guys are not weak. They are not playing around. I have no health left as I go for a Thunder on Charizard, and I'm actually lucky enough to kill it. But by the time Blastoise comes out, I'm praying and crossing my fingers that a Thunder will kill it in 1 shot. But it just leaves it with a shred, and I get the paralysis. Unfortunately, it hits me with a Surf, and takes me out. Had paralysis taken effect there, we would have been victorious and the challenge would have been completed. It made me really want to try to beat it without maxing out, but after losing too many times in a row, I realized it's just too luck dependent. So I max out to a level 100 and then I go for the fight. The first thing that has to happen is Pikachu cannot hit me with Charm or the battle is ruined, so I have to fight over and over until I'm not charmed. Then I can sweep through the first few Pokemon with Strength, and then I also get super lucky on Snorlax and take it out in one hit with a critical. I nearly pooped my pants watching his HP bar drain to 0 so slowly. I couldn't believe I could actually one-hit it. Next up is the Venusaur, and the story hasn't changed here. It's only easier to kill him. I still can't one-shot him, but he always goes for Solar Beam, so one more Strength is always going to take him out. All I have to do now is land a Thunder on this Charizard and a Thunder on this Blastoise, and I got the win. But of course I miss and get burned, so it's looking like it's going to be a death right off the bat. Luckily I live with just a little bit of HP and finally land Thunder, which is going to easily take him out from full HP in one hit. Now I'm burned, and all that's left is a Blastoise. If I can hit him right here, which I do, I think we win the battle, guys. Come on, keep going, and we got him. And that's it. So the answer to can you beat Pokemon Crystal with just a Dunsparce is yes, you can. You can even take down Red. My name is Chilln Play, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and comment on what you might like to see next. Have a good life. Bye-bye.